NFL Week 12 power rankings. So number 10, I have the Houston Texans. First time on this list, I think, in 2 seasons. They beat the Cardinals. It definitely wasn't the prettiest game by the Texans, but it shows me that the Texans can win without Stroud being perfect. So far this season, Stroud has been great, definitely an MVP candidate. And those Texans wide receivers and Devin Singletary has really impressed me. Their offense is actually lethal and dangerous, even if Stroud's not at their best. And the Texans defense hasn't been great, but they've been doing better than with better than the talent they have. So I do think the Texans are a top 10 team and they've been playing really good. Like the talent may not be there, but the product on the field is great. It's definitely top 10. Number 9, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars up a spot. A good, very good game versus the Tennessee Titans. Trevor Lawrence was great, had 4 total touchdowns. Um, Jaguars defense played great. I'm still waiting for that Jaguars signature window. Jaguars have played good, have been kind of inconsistent this season. Like last week, we saw how good their offense and defense can be. We haven't seen enough of that. We know the Jaguars have the talent, but I've got to see a little bit more. Trevor was good last week, but has been just okay this season. I still think the Jaguars have the talent and could be dangerous when playoff time comes around yet. I just haven't seen it yet, so I can't put them that high. But I still have the Jaguars going up a spot. Then number 8, I have the Cleveland Browns up a spot. They beat the Steelers in a very ugly game. DTR played all right. He did lead the last second drive, but DTR is still a rookie and he wasn't really that impressive. Neither was the Browns run game. So that Browns offense is really dragging this team down, but the Browns defense is great. Myles Garrett is great. Their secondary is playing out of its mind. Browns defense is the reason the Browns are 7-3 pretty much all this season, keeping them in the top 10. But if that offense keeps dragging the Browns down, they might drop out. But right now, the offense did just enough, so I do have the Browns at 8. And then number 7, I have the Miami Dolphins staying where they are. A win is a win, but it was not the most impressive win versus the Raiders. Um, Tua did okay, although he could have done better in the fourth quarter. But the Dolphins' offense in general made too many mistakes, including 2 fumbles, 3 turnovers. So Dolphins might have to reconfigure their offense just a little bit and tweak it a little bit. But the Dolphins' defense is just why they stay at 7. Their defense did great against Aiden O'Connell. They've been doing great these last few weeks since Jalen Ramsey came back. And that Dolphins defense has been getting better, even though their offense has been getting worse. So I do see the Dolphins staying where they are. And number 6, I have the Detroit Lions down a spot. Like I said, similar to the Dolphins, a win is a win, even though it is a comeback win against the Bears. Lions, Goff did not do that good, and so far, I don't feel like anybody's talking about it, but the last few weeks, Goff hasn't been that good. Ever since his interception streak ended, he's just been kind of okay. And the Lions haven't been doing great these last couple of weeks. Um, but Lions got the win. Their offense came alive during the right time, and the Lions defense continues to be good. Even though they didn't have their best game last week, I think the Lions defense continues to be good, and that definitely still a top 10 team. But definitely, I wouldn't be. They have to fix some things if they want to be a serious Super Bowl contenders. At number 5, I have the San Francisco 49ers up a spot. They pretty much blew out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brock Purdy is back. He looked great. George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Ayuk. It was just a very, very good win against the Bucks. But offensively, didn't really show much since Bucks have a pretty bad defense. San Francisco defense is good, but like I said, Bucks it's not the best opponent, so I do have the San Francisco Niners going up only 1 spot. But they definitely have the talent to be one of the top teams. And then number 4, I have the Kansas City Chiefs going down 2 spots. They lost the Eagles. First half they were firing on all cylinders. Second half the offense disappeared. Kansas City Chiefs defense though was great. They pretty much made life miserable for Hurts. So that's keeping them in the top 5. But Chiefs offense really has to figure it out. They really have to find a top wide receiver or somebody who's complement Travis Kelce, and until they do that, I don't see them as a really serious Super Bowl threat. So I do have the Kansas City Chiefs dropping down 2 spots. Then number 3, I have the Dallas Cowboys up a spot. A blowout win over the Panthers, but really didn't show much. Cowboys offense was great. Dak Prescott had another really good game. Pollard finally found the end zone. Defense, Bland had a pick 6, and it's pretty much what we're accustomed to when the Cowboys play at bad teams. They do really well, but similar to the Jaguars, the Cowboys still need to find that signature win and play better versus good opponents. But they do play good against bad opponents, so that's that's a bright spot. So I do have them going up one. Number two, I have the Baltimore Ravens up a spot. They beat Cincinnati. It was a good win over Cincinnati. Lamar had a good, not great game, but good game. Ravens defense played against Jake Browning, but they've been very good this season. And Ravens look like a number two team. They've played good versus good opponents, and even against divisional rivals. So I do have them going up a spot. And teams that dropped out, Cincinnati Bengals. I just don't trust Jake Browning. Bengals defense hasn't been great this season. Haven't been horrible, but haven't been great this season. And without Joe Burrow, the Bengals offense I don't think can operate. And Joe Mixon has been kind of disappointing. So I just don't see the Bengals as a top 10 team without Joe Burrow. And then number one, obviously the Philadelphia Eagles, improved to what 9-1 now. Beat the Chiefs. Was not their best game, but they still got the win. Jalen Hurts scored when it needed most, and not a pretty win, but it was a win nonetheless. So there you have it, my NFL Week 12 power rankings.